Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. It's Friday, so it's my PowerPoint day. This is called the Inner Elder. The thing about the Inner Elders, the wisdom of the elders to manifest into teaching people how to live in harmony and balance with each other and with the earth. Most of the time, it's indigenous people who are carrying this message, and those of us in the city, through urbanization, secularization, domestication, we've kind of lost our contact with the instinct of life. So the first thing that the inner elder teaches you is how to acknowledge the medicine, the healing that's within each person. All right? It has nothing to do with chronology. It's in your DNA. It's an archetypal mode. So the elders are people who are the role keepers, the transmitters of the wisdom from generation to generation, the keeper of the old stories. That's why I like to tell so much stories, so many fairy tales, so many mythologies, to keep alive the transmission, because the stories themselves are medicine. Now, what you learn is that the ritual initiator is the person who stewards the entry and exit in and out of sacred space. They guide the neophyte, the initiate. So you want to look for someone or psychological resonance, that's the same thing, that takes you in and out of that place where you touch the divine, touch the spirit. Now, when you find that, you realize the whole purpose is to show people what it is to fly in the spirit. You role model for the youth how to serve the community by contacting spirit. So you're supposed to find your own mission to serve. That's your mission statement. How do you get your mission statement? Look at what the most important need you had was with the child. How do you envision the world, envision the world in its ideal state? And if you combine the two, fill your child's deepest need and find a way to fit into the picture of the perfect world you'd like to see, and that's how you get your mission statement. All right, now, really important to understand that you have to build the youth model. Oops, what happened? You have to build the youth model. You have to give them you have to give them a ladder to climb. Get them ready to do battle with the belly of the beast. They're up to it. So we want to empower the young people and hold the line while they make their glorious mistakes. Now, it's important to understand one's heritage, not only just as an elder, but to have a global imagination about this, knowing where your roots come from, whether they're familial, racial, cultural, and eventually global. What is the whole human picture? We have all these legacies bequeathed to us from our ancestors that show you the magnificence of their ideas and how they did these things without the technology that we have. It's really mind-boggling, isn't it? Now, leadership takes charge. When you become a leader, you have a target on your front as well as a target on your back. But what you want to do is to be the hub in which you lead change, you empower people, you inspire people, you share your vision and encourage other people to share their vision. That's the leadership model. And that's part of what an elder does as well. Now, it's really interesting to understand in our gender fluid society, but the basic idea of dyads or polarities like yin yang, it's not male and female, it's the way energy moves. It's important to have both represented in the council where you want to get wisdom, that which works, passed on to you from both the genders. And again, for the people who are non binary, it doesn't matter. You find the people in your community who represent a balance in the way they present ideas. And then you have the principles and the flow at the same time. Now, the hoop of many nations, you see this in so many indigenous tribes, the circle, the wheel of life. Another thing that the gift of the elders is to never leave the people without a vision of hope. And so in the ultimate mystical vision, like in Black Elk, it's a hoop of many nations, not just the Lakota tribe. You see the commonality of our whole human experience. And then you act locally once you see globally. Now, I'm always castigating my men friends to be involved in helping the young men come along, because there's a crisis. If there's no mature masculine personality or role model to do the initiating, then the gang tends to do what the ritual elders used to do. So it's time for men, long overdue time for men, to take much more concern, compassion, and care for the younger men coming up. Same is true for the women. It's not just a crisis for young men. Mm-hmm. Where are these women from? England, Ireland? Doesn't matter. They can have the same lack of affiliation, nowhere to plug in the idealistic energy. They can only just see corruption around them, so they don't want to be a part of it, so they drop out or they rebel. It's another sign where they're asking for help, but people don't understand that. Most important thing as an elder is your stewardship, your accountability and responsibility to care for the earth with integrity. And not only just means the plants and the animals, but for other human beings who are in such a primitive state in a certain way, sociologically speaking, civilizationally speaking. We haven't gone very, very far in terms of bringing the magnificent potential that we have out for everybody. And if you don't do that, we won't have the overview to make us understand what we all share together, a planetary view. And that is what I wish for all the people who are striving to tap into their inner elder and then live the life as if you have the fountain of youth.